In Skyrim, Meridia's champions fight for good. This is the story of Cassie.
I know it sounds irrational, but fate is irrational. If we knew the truth, it would be fact, and you're as good as dead.
Huh? Be careful.
Well, we're here.
I read
Where,
a book
pray
about
tell,
a
are the
vampire
Night
once,
Stalkers?
the
Your
girl's
hostage
diary.
promised us.
She actually chose to
tell me
become a
that boy played us
vampire
for
because she had
fools.
fallen in love with one.
Gracious Vigilant, I believe his was to tell the truth. These crates could be filled with supplies and food, ransacked from the docks of Windhelm.
That proves nothing. They could belong to bandits, smugglers even.
What a waste. I wonder who they were, and I wonder what's in their pockets.
They could also belong to vampires, stocking up for a protracted dawn. There, look at the table. Fresh bones and blood. They were here.
It seems your hostage was not entirely useless after all. The question now is, where have they gone?
Yes, it does seem rather peculiar that not a single vampire would remain to guard these supplies. Unless the supplies themselves were meant to hide something deeper.
What do you mean?
The pond is surrounded by land, but the water here runs underground. You spoke to the sister, did you not? Hers whose family was taken? Remember what she said about the vampires? How they used the river
it
to
doesn't look
phase
good
through
at
the
all.
ice.
What sister? Phasing through ice? What is he talking about?
The vampire in Chronobag. His sister lives in Windhelm.
Are you implying this abomination is allowed to walk the city streets? And the two of you allow it? I'm beginning to question whether this group your friend belongs to has any order or virtue to speak of.
What if they didn't swim up the river to snatch their victims? What if there was a tunnel that allowed them to travel to and from the docks?
We're already fairly deep. How much further can we possibly descend?
I am unsure. But if there is a trapdoor, it must be in this pool, camouflaged by the water. That's where we'll find them.
Here it is.
It seems your instincts were correct, Argonian. I was wrong to question you.
Ours is to appreciate the gesture, but let's not count our hatchlings just yet.
I disagree. There's no
It was
choice.
very kind of you to help us
In this
through
case,
Selma
we'll
and
be
Luke.
better prepared.
And getting magic resistance as a reward doesn't hurt either.
Very well then. Stendar, protect us all.
Everyone ready? Now we're lagging.
Time to end this little. No more? I yield.
the Vigilance!
You won't live.
Beg for your miserable life.
Try not to look too incompetent. It's
Your mother was
embarrassing.
a skeever, and your father smelled of snowberries.
Okay.
Stand up, take me, vampire.
Try not to look too incompetent. It's embarrassing.
Harm those who walk in the light.
I'm trying.
Something's not right. Now your blood is mine.
Look out!
Excellent teamwork. I'm disappointed.
Stendar's mercy. How deep does this canyon go?
It's a long way to Windhelm, Vigilance. And the further we descend, the less obstacles we jump through.
It must have taken them centuries to dig this.
If there is one thing a vampire does not fear, it is time.
True enough. But they fear the light, and we will cast it upon this tunnel and burn their souls to dust.
Thought I heard. Look out! That takes care of that.
We wash the land clean.
Another corpse. And a dark elf.
Like cowards, they prey upon the refugees and take advantage of the Jarl's indifference.
Or they act as refugees themselves. Theirs is to play the same game they played as children. They walk amongst the downtrodden, posing as their kin.
If what you say is true, then the girl's story was a lie. She says they came from the river, that they phased through the ice. Your attachment to this brother and sister is affecting your judgment. How can we be certain they are not the twins we seek?
I don't know. Let us see where this tunnel ends. It may take us to the bottom of the White or inside the city. Then we'll know for sure. Warehouse. You see? Rinori was telling the truth.
On the contrary, Argonian. We may be near the dogs, but we're still inside the city. Do you think a god wouldn't notice a horde of vampires diving into the river? We're on the other side of the bank. There's no strategic advantage to using this tunnel whatsoever. Unless your aim was to get inside the city walls.
You may be right. Was I blinded by what happened to our lass? Is this girl no different than that child? It seems I am in need of your counsel once more. You have spoken with the girl. What do you think?
They use the river to take refugees and the tunnels to pose as the victims.
By Julianos, you're right. I was so focused on the tunnels that ours was to neglect the obvious. Theirs is to use the river to gain access to the refugees, and the tunnels to enter the city. We should head on over to the Corner Club and see if any new refugees have arrived. That will point us to the real suspects.
Corner Club. Two dogs here now, Iskrimor and Toba.
There was a companion in Vilkas that just always stabbed with his great sword with terrible thrust.
Come on in. Just stoke the fire. Take a seat and get the cold out. Good to see you. Let me know if you need anything.
Yes, Amberese. It's about the twins. They've been so helpful, but I was wondering if they could spend another night here at the Corner Club. Belin has some company coming over.
Some wine,
And I'm afraid we don't have the space.
Running out of room, eh? I'll be glad to help.
Pardon me, but these twins you speak of, where do they come from?
They're refugees from Morrowind, just arrived
I
last
have
week.
a Dunmer friend,
Pleasant
Vala,
lads,
who is
the both of them.
considerably friendlier than you
We've
are.
all been passing them around
Is
from
that
home
right?
to home until they get
good for her.
settled. Lucky for Amberese, we had to cut our turn short.
But she also
It's a
has
shame,
kind
really.
heart.
They've been so wonderful to have around the house.
Will make me
You mean to tell me you're harboring vampires in this very building?
I really don't understand your
Vampires?
disdain for humans.
Up the stairs! Don't let them
Only
escape!
because their lives are so short compared to us now.
someone there.
This should be good.
Want me to trip them for you?
good as dead.
For the Vigilance!
Another fight.
I'm getting out of here. Only a fool lets himself get surrounded.
It appears we've arrived not a moment too soon. No doubt these two were ingratiating themselves with the locals. Had they been allowed to succeed, the Grey Quarter would have suffered an epidemic of vampirism. Moreover, the Jarl could have used it as a pretense to purge the entire city of outsiders. Thanks to our efforts, both those circumstances have been averted.
Yes, the Grey Quarter's seen enough turmoil.
Yes, although, as much as I hate to admit it, if the area had been infected, it is likely that the Jarl's actions would have been justified. If a few innocents are lost, it would pale in comparison to the number of casualties that would occur if one abomination were allowed to live.
In any event, it seems Arlas will have a measure of peace now that his kin have been avenged.
Don't have a lot of data in this land.
Still, the war rages on.
And I, for one, am glad to have you on our side. We may have our differences, but you have proven yourself worthy. The Order of the Virtuous Blood is a friend to the Vigil.
And here I thought we were going to leave on bad terms.
Why would you assume such a thing? I have been nothing but courteous to you.
I can never tell if you're using humor.
I can't imagine why. In any case, thank you again for your assistance. But I must take my leave. I'm headed back to the beacon.
Until next time, Vigilant. Divines guide your path.
Yes, until we meet again. Walk always in the light, for both of you.
The Vigilant takes her leave, but ours has one more task to complete. I have spoken with Phalion about a cure. All we need is to deliver the girl.
Okay then.
Good Lord, didn't anybody here subscribe?